Tired of struggling to figure out how to master your Instagram stories? Don't know how to use all the features? Get lost in all the plethora of tools that they have to offer? Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Nathan Olson, and today we're going to be going over how to master Instagram stories, all the tips and tricks I use in order to create professional Instagram stories. This is going to be a beginner's guide, so stay tuned till the end. Alright guys, so here we are on my Instagram. So in order to access your Instagram stories, there's two ways that you can actually do this. You can simply just tap on the top left icon for your profile picture and there I am. Or you can alternatively swipe left and I'll still be there. And also if you're at your account home, you can simply hit the tap on your profile logo also to get into Instagram stories. So let's just go over all the types of media formats that we have here. First, you have type, where you can text something. Let's just say, ha ha ha, love this feature. Alright, so, and then we also have live, where you can start a live video and start shooting yourself, and it'll check your connection and we can actually start creating a live video. Live videos cannot be replayed. They cannot, live videos cannot be replayed, and they only transmit once, and they're only active for 24 hours as well. Then we have your basic normal. You have boomerang, which creates a short GIF that allows you to actually create a short little GIF that plays in forward and reverse. And then there's also something brand new that's been actually released to Instagram stories, and that's the ability to link your Spotify account to your actual Instagram stories. So you'll actually be able to play actual songs on your Instagram story, and you can actually choose 15-second snippets from the best parts. Instagram actually puts the best kind of area right there where that little red mark is. And then alternatively, you can actually go into your Spotify account and you can actually post album work straight to your Instagram stories via, let's just find something good, and you simply hit share, and you can share directly to your Instagram stories. And this will actually post album content, and you'll actually be able to share it straight onto your Instagram. And once people actually access your story, you'll actually be able to listen to the actual song directly on Spotify. Focus allows for proper portraits to be taken. It actually blurs out the background. If you can see that in the background area, it kind of blurs out. Now it changed focus. This allows for nice quality portraits that actually kind of hold focus on the object itself as opposed to kind of the background details. Super zoom is something that creates those dramatic Snapchat stories that we always see. And then there's also the rewind function, which allows you to play videos in reverse, just to kind of give it a creative, unique kind of method that we could do. You could use this to, I've seen a lot of cool videos where people pour stuff out and then it kind of like sucks it back up into the water, or people are running up something and it shows them running in reverse. You can get kind of creative with it, just play around with the function itself. And then hands-free is, of course, to take a 15-second video without the use of your hands at all. You can actually just set it there and, you know, have your hands out, be doing some stuff. Really good for showing little tutorial videos, as well as creating nice little videos where you can stand up and actually put your phone somewhere else. So of course we have the flip back button as well, if you want to kind of reverse what we're doing here and see how I'm shooting these videos. Additionally, we also have face filters. All you have to do is lock on the face and we got some really cool stuff here. This is good for people that are kind of afraid to show their face or want to kind of create unique little things for their Instagram stories. So these are a great thing to actually just kind of implement into your Instagram story. Makes it a little bit unique and you can kind of play around with cool features. The lightning bolt is the flash. It's either automatic, daytime or nighttime, and then we also have normal. And then if you see that little thumbnail in the top and the bottom left, these are actually your camera roll, which Instagram stories used to only allow 24-hour videos, but actually, or 24-hour content, but now they've actually released it to full access to your camera roll, so you'll actually be able to access information all the way from the very beginning, or whatever you have on your phone. You know, and that's very nice because you will have everlasting content, because there's a lot of great content that producers have created out there. Unfortunately, it doesn't always reach the audience. All right, so if we wanted to add some stickers, we tap that smiley in the top right corner, the little sticky note. And from here we have all our stickers. So stickers are a unique and creative way to add a little bit of flair to your Instagram story. A lot of helpful stickers that you guys should be implementing are location, mention, hashtag, questions, polls, and then the smiley slider. So the good thing about a location is that you can actually edit your location. You can change what style it is just by tapping on it. And something that's kind of unique is that location stories actually get viewed more by people that are not actually your followers. A lot of cities are actually curated by Instagram themselves, and the way they get content is to actually use location content. So if you actually start pinning your stories as well as your regular post to a location, you'll actually gain more reach, engagement, and new followers just because your content is getting farther out there. So locations are a great way in order to increase your follower growth. Let's go back here. Let's look at some other stickers. You can do an @mention. I'll just shout out my reselling account for Supreme Streetwear. And that's just a great way. A lot of people do cross promotions, shout outs. Just a great way to kind of pull maybe even a big brand into seeing your story. Very useful. I use it all the time. Hashtags are another great one. Let's do a hashtag Supreme, and we'll change the color. And so hashtags are also another great way because of the way the new Instagram Explore page algorithm works, and I'll actually link up a video where I did a full explanation of that right here, or I'll put it in the description below. What's unique about the new Instagram Explore page is that it actually takes hashtags and creates new followings around them. So let's just go to our Explore page real quick. It's actually categorized into niches itself that's constantly growing. You can expect more around this, but let's just go into fitness real quick. It shows you the top hashtags up there, and those hashtags actually have stories that are attached to them for people that actually use those hashtags in their stories. So if you want to gain, like all these people are gaining new views, new followers, just by simply using that hashtag, and people actually follow specific hashtags on Instagram now. So if you're not using hashtags in your stories, you're missing out on a lot of exposure and a lot of engagement and a lot of reach. So let's keep editing here. All right, the pen tool. So the pen tool is kind of unique. You can use it to draw creative little pictures, maybe a little sign, something. You can change the color by simply tapping down here, swipe left to view the 3 palettes that you have. If you ever want to undo something, you simply tap in the top left corner and it will actually undo the picture for you. If you ever want a color that you don't have on here, you can simply hold onto the color palette and it will actually allow you to create new colors just by dragging around. Or let's say actually that I really like this red of this toolbox, so I can actually hit this dripper and I will move this over top of the toolbox, and now this is the same exact color as that toolbox. So if there's ever a color in your photo that you actually want to use, let's say I really like Buzz Lightyear's green or turquoise, that is. Yeah, let's see, there we go. And now we can grab onto that color as well. So you also have the highlighter function, which allows you to kind of just create little highlighters. You can change the width of your highlighter. That way it's a little more see-through and you can kind of draw around with it. Some other unique things here, we have the neon tool, which allows you to create kind of very loud, very poppy, bright writing. Another cool thing about this, so let's just say that I wanted to create a cover overlay. So what I do is I'm going to click the pen tool, I'm going to click the color I would like, let's go with blue, and I'm simply going to hold onto the screen, and that's going to change it entirely blue. And what's cool about this is that you can actually use the eraser tool and you can actually erase certain areas that you kind of want to pop out or to kind of just like show a little bit of sneak peek for something. And then there's also the star function, which is kind of like chalk, another just unique type of creative style that you can start implementing in here. All right, and now we have the text feature. So the text feature just allows you to write creative messages. So we can create little messages, and we can change the font by simply tapping the top font style, and we have 5 styles to choose from. Only certain styles actually have the ability to gain a background behind them, which you can change the color with down here as well. And only some font styles actually have the ability to format it properly with text alignment. Typewriter, Classic are the only ones that have the ability to change the format, while Classic, Typewriter, and Strong are the only ones that have the ability to gain a background. And another cool thing, let's go back to stickers. So stickers are actually a great way to start increasing the amount of engagement and overall community involvement and user engagement. So let's just say who was able to snag the new toolbox from week 1 drop. And we can actually change these inputs by saying, let's just say yes or no. And that way we can kind of get people to come in here and actually answer these questions. So when they see our actual story, they will be able to answer thumbs up or thumbs down. And that answer is instantly recorded. And it's actually, when the user answers the question, it can see immediate results. And you as the administrator can go back and see who answered as yes, who answered as no, who viewed my story, who skipped forward. A lot of good juicy details in there. If you ever want to delete something, all you have to do is drag it down into the bottom where the trash can pops up. Right here is the selfie sticker. So let's say we'll take a little selfie right there. We'll make it like this. And this is, let's just say we can make this my profile picture for up here for people selling streetwear. You can also @mention through the text itself by simply using the @ sign, or if you want to use a hashtag, use the hashtag sign. Some other cool stickers that you guys can start implementing: you swipe left, you have your most recent, and then when you swipe right, there are an array of little things that you can add to yourself in order to give yourself kind of a funny little pair of glasses. Yep, look like an old librarian right there. That's perfect. And if you ever want to add a filter, it's simply like Snapchat where you can actually swipe left or right and add different filters. So there are 11 different types of photo filters you can be using on the Instagram stories. They are all named after famous locations: New York, Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, Tokyo, and other stuff like that. And then there's also a new poll feature that you guys can start using. This is something that allows people to kind of on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm assuming is how you would kind of rank this. Perfect. And we can actually change this to, let's say, I mean, this kind of makes sense with the hearts, but say we wanted to change it to just a heart, or, you know, it was crappy the whole way through, it was at a maximum 10. So yeah, that's a new way to kind of ask a question, get the community involved, start increasing overall engagement, and start getting people actually actively in there and listening to what you have to say. Let's say we wanted to add a GIF, which is a cool way to add some, let's say, click here. Add a little guy that says, click right here. Hey, kind of give it some little pizzazz. So if you ever wanted to kind of use this for a kind of call to action, maybe you wanted to add some cool bedazzle stuff in here. There's also like cool, you know, little sparkle up the supreme lifestyle. So yeah, there's just a ton of cool ways that you can start implementing GIFs in here as well. Kind of give your Instagram video or your Instagram post a little bit more depth, a little bit more creativity without having to actually do anything. You can kind of just implement it yourself. Turn volume on and off with that little piece right there. So say we've created our own little video and we've actually wanted to kind of just add a sticker in here or place it. We can actually pin our sticker somewhere in here to where it will actually stay there specifically. And down here you'll actually be able to kind of edit where your pin is placed, because you can fast forward the movie and then you hit pin and there she is. So this is a nice creative way where you guys can kind of like throw stuff in there, maybe create kind of like a cool action trailer. It could like lead up through all the products, and then it could come into click, swipe up or click here or watch the next video or something like that. You guys can get really creative with it. This is just a quick tutorial to kind of show you how to get things started with this. Alright, so let's say once we've updated our actual story, we wanted to add a highlight. So this is actually something that's very unique. Just to add a highlight, you're going to click in the bottom right hand corner. It's going to take you to highlights. You can create a new highlight reel. Let's call it a workout playlist. So there is a certain amount of characters that is allowed in here, so try not to make your highlights too long. And there we go. Highlights are now added to the top of your Instagram feed, where your followers and other people that navigate to your page will actually be able to see everlasting Instagram story content. So this is going to be content that you've uploaded to your Instagram story that you feel has maybe a longer shelf life than just 24 hours. So this will actually be able to give you a unique way to actually post content up here that's everlasting. I love the highlight reel. I absolutely use it on all my other accounts. So let's go to Apex Pack, where I actually use it to display actual guides that I've written. I use it to display videos that I have for my YouTube. I use it to display products. So this is a great way to just kind of have a storefront up there for advertisement. I have supplements up there. Something that's a little bit more unique that I use it for on my new business that I started, I use it for reviews and testimonials, which is a great way to kind of just get kind of social proof out there, as well as kind of make the community trust you a little bit more, even if they haven't bought a product yet. So let's say this could be the converting factor. Once they navigate to your Instagram feed or your Instagram account, they can go to your reviews and actually see what people or their peers are actually saying about your product. I also use it for events to kind of display where we're going, where we've been, all the stuff that we've done over the time, just to kind of document our whole journey as we're kind of starting this business. And then these are all the people that have purchased from us, that have let us take a picture from them. So kind of a unique way to kind of get the community involved. As you can see, I do use hashtags in there. I do use @mentions when the people have an Instagram account. Just as we said before, a great way to kind of get your name out there, as well as kind of to reach more people via hashtags and mentions. Alright, one thing that I always get a lot of questions about is how to take a long story, more than 15 seconds, and how to post it into your Instagram story in chunks. One of the best tools that I use is called Cut Story. You can download it on the App Store for Apple. And all you have to do is go to video. It accesses your actual photos on your phone. You simply go into here. You can add stickers to it, you can add text, you can add music, you can do all this type of editing. But as soon as you're done, you hit that little save in the top right corner, and you can actually save it to a ton of different social media file sizes. For example, Instagram's 15 seconds, Facebook is 20, WhatsApp is 30, Snapchat is about 10 seconds, and then I'm not sure what WeChat is or the VK is. Those might be kind of international social platforms that I'm not yet familiar with. But let's just do Instagram, and it actually cuts it into 15-second chunks for you. So this video was about 29 seconds. It'll cut it into 2 chunks, both 15 and 14 seconds. And as soon as it's done, you hit the little check mark. We can swap right back over to Instagram itself. And from here, we will be able to post our 2 videos back to back, and they will actually stay in full length. But so one thing that you guys need to pay attention to is that Instagram does only keep content up for 24 hours as soon as it's posted. So for a lot of people that want to stay on top of the Instagram story feed, they post content kind of on a consistent basis, so they always stay at the top of the feed. However, for example, if you're marketing a 5-step product or a 5-step feature or a 5-step tutorial, 5-step guide, and you are releasing those pieces one at a time at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when people go to view that content the next day, it will slowly start disappearing at those times as well. So they will only be seeing the later chapters. So it's best if you have kind of content that works off one another in parallel, or you should be posting that content to your Instagram stories all together at once, as opposed to kind of spreading it out, just because the content will get deleted at different times of the day depending on when you posted it. Another thing I wanted to show you guys on here is something called the actual Instagram stats for your stories. I wanted you guys to be able to kind of understand how your content is performing, how your people answered questions, and just kind of overall statistics. So if you can view your responses in the bottom left, you just go down here, and it shows you actually the overall impressions and discovery that your story has reached, how many people have actually navigated from it, how many people have moved forward from it, have moved back, have clicked next story, have actually exited your story. So this is a great way to kind of understand which content your audience kind of likes to see in your story and which is causing them to exit and quit. You can actually view it simultaneously as well by clicking to the next actual post on your Instagram story. Again, we can see kind of the overall action that's been taken on here, and we can actually see the actual stats of how people commented on this, just our questions. You'll be able to see the instantaneous responses. So you can kind of get a full understanding of how your community is doing. A lot of good things that I like to do for those polls and questions, guys, is to kind of just ask the audience what they'd like to see. Ask them for reviews, ask them for content that they'd like to see coming up in the next couple days, what new videos they liked. This will actually give kind of a good understanding of what your community thinks about your overall content strategy, what it thinks about your brand. Let's say you're doing an Instagram post like this, and you're saying, what would you guys like to see first? Instagram stories about features and tips, or Instagram stories about how to market a product? And from there, we'll be able to get a thumbs up or thumbs down on which side you guys would like to see first, 1 or 2. kind of binary responses. Try to always keep it between two decisions. Just makes it a little bit easier to get data and to kind of split test things. So guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Make sure to check out all the features that we've talked about today. My name's Nathan Olson. I'm going to be dropping videos every Tuesday on this channel, so make sure to come back and stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to be linking up the full guide to this as well in the description below, so for anyone that has watched this full video and still needs a little bit of help figuring out how to actually implement all these features, there's going to be a full detailed step-by-step, easy to follow instructions down below. Alright guys, thank you for staying tuned and have a good one.